Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Empty Stats podcast. I am Will Arvin, alongside my co-host, as usual, Aiden Dawson and Evan Kadura. What up, fellas?
What's poppin'?
What's up?
We've
How you
made
doing
it
today?
4 weeks, 4 straight weeks.
Yes, sir. I haven't missed a week yet.
I've not missed one. We've come close. I think we came close once, but
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I might have been the editing. I think is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the editing was a little rough, but we got there.
Editing for week 1 was a tragic experience, but we made it. We're here 4 weeks now. We appreciate you guys tuning in once again. Of course, we're a small podcast right now, but we're getting there.
Only when
Hopefully.
it goes up.
All the way up from here. All right. So NBA season last night finally kicked off. The 75th season of the National Basketball Association had 2 games on tap last night. The reigning NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks hosted the Brooklyn Nets in a rematch of last year's playoff series. The Bucks were able to get their rings. Their banner got raised into the rafters at Pfizer Forum, and
Super
they
cool
blew out the Nets by 23, 127-104, the final score there in Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo was as ridiculous as usual. Giannis putting up Giannis numbers in 31 minutes, 32 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 blocks. Chris Middleton with a nice 20-point game. 20 off the bench for Pat Connaughton, 15 for Jordan Nwora. So the Bucks bench showed out last night. I think that's a pretty good sign for them. Obviously,
especially Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Drew Holiday left the game.
And then Dante DiVincenzo, he was out too. He might be out for quite a bit, though. That's what I kind of read.
Yeah, Drew Holiday only played 18 minutes last night. He left with a left heel contusion. The Brooklyn Nets, obviously, everybody knows Kyrie Irving will not be playing for the Brooklyn Nets for the foreseeable future. So last night was our first full look what the roster is going to look like. They started James Harden, Joe Harris, Nick Claxton, Blake Griffin, and Kevin Durant. KD tied Giannis for most points in the game with 32 in 30 minutes. James Harden had 20 points on just 16 shot attempts. Patty Mills came out hot. 21 points off the bench, 7 of 7 from 3. That's pretty impressive.
And I got a banger tweet out of it. 10 likes, 1 retweet.
Yeah, this guy thinks a banger tweet is 10 likes. I will say, though, on the surface, for your following, 10 likes, that's pretty good.
That is good.
Yeah, to the moon. It's only going up. Only going up. So yeah, Drew Holiday left the game early, which, sucks because, everyone loves Drew Holiday. Only playing 17 minutes when, Giannis was playing 30, Chris Middleton was playing 30. But he was a plus 17 from the field. So he still had his impact. But going back to Patty Mills, 21 points, 7 of 7 from 3. He shot the 3 and he made every single one of them. He is not the Kyrie Irving replacement, but he's going to hold down the fort until Kyrie Irving gets back in that 6-man role.
This Patty Mills talk is great, but they didn't get the dub. The Bucks did. And Pat Connaughton dropping 20 points, shooting 60%, I think 60% field goal off the bench. Like, pretty
8 of 13. 8 of 13 from the field, 4 of 9.
That is pretty good off the bench. Like
4 of 9 from downtown.
That's good.
That sounded so scripted. This Patty Mills talk is great, but the Bucks got the dub.
Yeah, I mean they did though. They did. If we're being honest, and I mean I think people I was seeing on a lot of people were saying, oh, Kyrie's not playing this about Kyrie. Yeah, but he's never said when he's going to come back. There's no time frame of him coming back. This isn't like an injury where they know in 6 weeks he'll be back. We don't know.
I think he'll be back sooner rather than later, to be honest.
Maybe, but this Nets Bucks game was definitely better than the Lakers Warriors game, which I'm sure I want to hear y'all's opinions on this. Aiden, tell me what you thought about the Lakers.
Before we go on to the Warriors and Lakers, Bruce Brown didn't play more than 4 minutes after being their best defensive player last year, and the Nets were really struggling on defense. I just don't know what Steve Nash was doing because Bruce Brown only playing 4 minutes is really strange, especially since the Nets just couldn't guard anybody. And throwing a Bruce Brown out there was going to be one of the more significant defensive outcomes that they could, especially on like a Chris Middleton who had like 20 points on pretty good efficiency. Chris Middleton, 20 points, 8 of 17. throwing up Bruce Brown on him is pretty significant.
So, Will, what do you think of the Lakers-Warriors?
I thought it was an enjoyable game. Honestly, I was probably surprised more than anything. I think the Lakers' struggles kind of reminisce of what we were talking about last week, where, it's a whole bunch of characters and a lot of talent. It's just a matter of how they're going to be able to combine and play together. And last night was rough. Anthony Davis and LeBron James did their part. 50, they combined for 67 points. LeBron had 34, 11, and 5 in 37 minutes. Anthony Davis had 33, 11, and 2 in 39 minutes. But Russell Westbrook, the guy that was advertised to be a part of the next big three for the Lakers, only had 8 points on 4 of 13 from the field in 35 minutes, a Lakers low minus 23. It was
4 turnovers and 4
horrible start for Russell Westbrook. And now obviously it's his first start is his first game as a Laker. There were going to be nerves. There were going to be some things that they had to work out on. But it seemed like he was almost unplayable at times. Like, there were times where it looked like Rajon Rondo was a more efficient player than Russell Westbrook running the offense.
Rajon Rondo was 3 points, 1 of 4 from the field. He wasn't doing much either.
5 assists and 2 steals. But it just seemed like didn't really seem like Westbrook was just he didn't look like he just fit. I mean, that's the problem too, is that he can't shoot. So no one's gonna guard him on the outside, which just doubles LeBron and Anthony Davis. And they're gonna pass it to who? DeAndre Jordan, Kent Bazemore, or Russell Westbrook. It's like the depth for the Lakers. It was a worry going into the season. Carmelo Anthony went 3 of 9 last night. Avery Bradley had 2 threes off the bench. If this is just going to be another year where it's the Lakers relying on AD and LeBron 3/4 of the game, I don't see how this works.
Speaking of depth, it's worth noting that James and Anthony Davis are the only people to score double digits for the Lakers. And that just goes to prove your point, Will, about the Lakers having 0 depth to come out and score. That's not going to win games at all. You can't just have 2 people running the floor doing that.
So one of the things that I saw that was really big with Russell Westbrook is he was standing out outside of the 3 a lot, especially when Anthony Davis and LeBron James were trying to work in the post, trying not to clog up the lane. But just the game that Russell Westbrook plays, the slashing, not going to shoot, and going to go 0 for 4 from 3, that was really hurting him because significantly last night, Anthony Davis and LeBron were just getting double teamed in the post. And I know LeBron started out like 7 of 7 from the field, but he was getting double teamed and his defenders were able to help off of Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook just wasn't able to make them pay from 3 like at all. It was an ugly performance.
I was more surprised that it just seemed like the Warriors were playing Warriors basketball last night. Like, they seemed to find smarter players for their bench that fit Steve Kerr. Like Iguodala, obviously he was with the Warriors before, but he came back. Bielitsa looked fantastic for them last night. Had 15 points, 11 boards, 4 assists off the bench. Not even just his shooting, but just his passing was fantastic. Like, he's just one of those European guys where he just got that. He has that flair. Curry, even though it was an off shooting night for him, still had a triple double. Had 21, 10,
first one
10.
2016.
Yeah, first triple double in 5 years. Jordan Poole, who we'd like to joke about as being a preseason MVP, ended up having 20 points last night and was a quite integral part of the Warriors last night. And Damian Lee came out of nowhere, 15 points in 29 minutes for him as well. I think that the Warriors, last year when they had, Kelly Oubre and Mulder and, just those other players off their bench, they didn't really fit with the Warriors. Like, they weren't, high IQ players. They got high IQ players now, and that really fits with Steve Kerr. And, obviously it's just one game. Everybody's going to have one game overreactions. But I think the depth of the Warriors is going to help them out a lot this year.
I liked what I saw from Iguodala last night. There was a couple of times where Steph Curry was driving or Draymond was driving, and they kicked it out to Iguodala from the corner. And Iguodala is not a great 3-point shooter, even though Max Kellerman will have you believe that he will rather have Iguodala shoot a 3 than Steph Curry. Anyway, he went 2 of 5, and the two shots that he made were corner threes. And I think if he's a significantly just okay corner 3-point shooter, this Warriors team is going to be really, really dangerous just for that reason, because they have Andre Iguodala to kick it out to the corner, and that means you can't help off him, and Steph and Draymond are going to get their shots up.
Yeah, Iggy's stat line last night at 12 points on 4-7 shooting and 2 for 5 from 3. Like, if the Warriors can get that like fairly consistently, where it's like, Iguodala's not really forcing up any shots, but like if he's open, and last night he got open on a majority of his looks.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as he just fires them up, he'll probably make 2 out of 5, 2 out of 6. Yeah. Probably give you just a handful of buckets off the bench.
The one thing that I didn't like that I saw from the Warriors was them in transition. Their transition offense last night was horrid. There was a time where Jordan Poole was just dribbling up the court.
I saw this.
Pulled it back out and just completely over like 3 way too hard.
It looked like it was an easy 2-on-1 fast break. Poole notices that, stops at the free throw line, walks it all the way back to the arc.
Yeah.
And just bricks.
Yeah. And there was a 4-on-2 that the Warriors just weren't able to convert. And it was an ugly basketball game, but it was the first basketball game back, or the second basketball game back technically. So that's pretty cool.
And this was without Wiseman and Kuminga for the Warriors too.
Mm-hmm. Moses Moody only got 5 minutes, which, understandable. He's a rookie, not doing a whole lot. Oh, there was one thing that I saw in the Bucks game that I wanted to talk about a little bit. Giannis, his jumper is looking really, really smooth.
He's looking real confident with that mid-range.
And even the 3, the one I was going to talk about is he pulled up for 3 on the left wing, and he made it. And his shot's looking a lot more like Chris Middleton's, and Chris Middleton is a nice shot. They get back on defense, and I think they throw a lob or they get a pass into Nicholas Claxton. And Giannis just absolutely stuffs it. It was just a great 1-2 going into a 3, coming back on defense, and that's just what's going to make the Bucks and Giannis so dangerous, is that they don't give up on the defensive side after getting a shot. They're going to be locked in the entire game. And
the Bucks, from what I noticed, is that they just always just make the high IQ play, like that Middleton cross, end-to-end pass he got to Giannis for the and-1 dunk. Yep. Oh my God, man, that was gorgeous.
And they didn't even get a good shooting performance out of some of their better shooters, like Grayson Allen. I think Grayson Allen went
3 of 10.
3 of 10, and he's a better shooter than that. He's gonna give you 40 to 50% usually. And if they do that, and Pat Connaughton had a good game shooting 44%. But if they can get better than 3 of 10 from Grayson Allen on open threes, then this game wouldn't have been as close.
I was surprised with Nwora too. He just seemed to be everywhere.
I'm surprised he got as many minutes as he did.
Yeah, 26 minutes for him, 6 of 13 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, and at 15 points and 6 rebounds. He just seemed to be everywhere. I don't even know where he's from.
George Hill last night, absolute ass.
Second round pick out of Louisville in 2020. That's right. That's where I remember the name now. Yeah. Jordan Nwora out of Louisville.
Has there anything come out about the Drew Holiday injury? I'm sure it's not significant, but
all I heard was that he was out for the rest of the game last night. I don't know if they came out with any updates though.
So all in all, pretty good opening day. 2 pretty good games. I mean, they were both kind of blowouts. I guess the Lakers-Warrior game was a lot closer than 7 points because the Lakers were leading a lot of the game, and then
the Lakers were leading for the majority of the game. Then by about the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter is when the Warriors really started to pick it up, and they just ran away with the game.
Yeah, and it's a really good thing to say about the Warriors, especially since Steph did go 23% from the field.
Yeah, and that was the problem for them last year, is that if Steph was off, the whole team was off.
They were off. Yeah, and
nothing was going to work. So I think it is important that even though Curry had a bad off night shooting, he was still contributing in other ways.
Yeah, he was
making passes, he was playing defense. getting boards.
Okay, so I know that none of us were super high on the Warriors, but since it's our first day and we're overreacting, is this like enough to like bump them up? Because I know we had them like.
I mean, I
Low
have them as a
Western
playoff
Conference.
team. Like
Right.
nothing's like that. That's not going to change. And I don't think
we
that they like instantly
sliding
jump
them
to a
up like the
playoff like
third?
a championship contender or anything.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And answer your
That's awesome.
question, Drew Holiday is probable for Thursday against
Okay,
Miami.
Cool. Oh, that's gonna be a good game. All right. So Joel Embiid. We're not talking about Ben Simmons. We're talking about Joel Embiid. It's a difference.
We will not talk about Ben Simmons until one, we know it's official that he's stepping on a basketball court for the Sixers or he is traded.
Yes, and that is the only time. This time is Joel Embiid, not Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons just happens to be a part of it. So if you don't know, the unnamed, the man we will not talk about was thrown out of practice, and there was a video going around of him being on his phone during practice in full sweats when everyone else on the team was dressed out in like practice shorts and practice shirts and stuff like that. And he was subsequently kicked out of practice by Doc Rivers and suspended for a game by the team, which, you know, he wasn't going to play anyway.
Yeah, I don't even think he's even passed COVID protocols to even play in a game.
I guess so. I guess that game takes place after he is ready. And after the practice, the media.
Well, I guess he was cleared because they said it was like conduct detrimental to the team. So he isn't not gonna play tonight. But I mean, I don't think he was going to regardless. Yeah.
So the media asked Joel Embiid how, what's going on with Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid gave the quote at this time, or at this point, I don't care about that man. Honestly, he does whatever he wants. I am not here to babysit.
Good for Joel, man.
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I know it's tough that people look at it in terms of it seemed like it was Doc and Joel Embiid that turned their back on Ben Simmons. But if Ben Simmons is going to act like this, then I feel like that is enough for you to be like, yeah, I'm just not going to worry about this anymore. Because one, it's not helping anybody. Two, if you just lay it down, that's like, you're done, you're over it, you're moving on, then, it allows for you to go on to the next step. The team's trying to prepare for a game, first game of the year against the Pelicans. Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of like the Kyrie deal. I mean, they're two different things, but in terms of just like affecting the actual team, it's better off if you just flat out just say, we are done. We're not going to worry about this anymore. We're just going to move on without him. And that's that.
That Kyrie for Ben Simmons trade is looking better and better as the day go on. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If I'm both teams now, I might do the trade. I might.
Well, I don't think Kyrie really gets traded because I don't think he's going to change his vax stance, which won't let him play.
Well, I think it depends on the city that he's in because Bradley Beal's not vaxxed.
Yeah,
Bradley Beal's not vaxxed and he's going to play. Just strange that Bradley Beal's not vaccinated. But whatever. I saw a tweet and it was like Ben Simmons is the complete opposite of Jimmy Butler because when Jimmy Butler gets mad at practice, he beats the first stringers.
Yeah, dude, Jimmy Butler got the short end of the stick for so long for no reason.
Yeah. And he went out and beat a whole bunch of first stringers with the third string and just basically called them a bunch of bitches.
And said, y'all need me.
Yep. And then left. And it has been very apparent that they do need Jimmy Butler. Because they cannot win without him. Unless they win today against the Rockets, which, likely.
Congrats, Minnesota.
Yeah, congrats, Minnesota, starting out 1-0.
Hang the banner.
The worst team in the league, probably.
Hey, A-Rod's first dub. Would be A-Rod's first dub as a owner of an NBA franchise.
True. Shout out that.
I wonder if he's even at the game. Because he's probably doing the Fox stuff.
Is he broadcasting? Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably doing the Fox stuff. That's hilarious.
Another player that has been getting the short end of the stick pretty recently, Marvin Bagley. I got the quote up. The Sacramento
all timer, by the way.
Yeah. So Marvin Bagley's team tweeted out, quote, Sacramento has informed Marvin Bagley he is not in the opening night rotation, which is completely baffling. It's clear they have no plans for him in the future, and yet passed on potential deals at last year's trade deadline and this summer based on value. Instead, they chose to bring him back but not play him. a move completely contradictory to their value argument. This is a case study in mismanagement by the Kings organization. Jeff Schwartz. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Do y'all think Marvin Bagley should be playing for the team?
I mean, I think he should.
Yeah.
I think he should be playing. I mean, like, I don't see why the Kings wouldn't play him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you go all in, I wouldn't even say go all in, but when you invest in a number 2 overall pick, and it hasn't even seemed like the Kings have believed in him since they picked him.
Okay, here. So what I've seen a lot of Kings fans and Kings media saying is that they can name like 9 or 10 players that are better than Marvin Bagley. So Davion Mitchell, I'm going to say is better. Buddy Hield, stop me when I miss. De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, Rashawn Holmes, Tristan Thompson, Terrence Davis, Harrison Barnes. That's 8. And you can make an argument for Damian Jones, I guess. I guess that's a bad argument, but you can make an argument.
Oh, no.
And
Damian Jones is not better than Marvin Bagley.
Yeah.
Mo Harkless.
I just think people just give Bagley a bad rap, where it's like, yeah, his stats are bad, but he plays for the Sacramento Kings.
And, well, he can't stay healthy.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of things that go into it. You know, it's like Bagley had a lot of potential coming out of Duke. And, you know, for the most part, historically, Duke big men have not been that good in the NBA. Like, if you look at the past, like Bagley hasn't worked out yet.
Okafor
didn't work out. Jabari Parker didn't work out.
Just got waived.
Got re-signed actually by the Celtics.
I think
Got waived, then re-signed.
That's what they did with LiAngelo too. Or that's what a lot of players are doing, or teams are doing. They're waiving players so they get them on 2 ways.
But I just think that it can just be a multitude of things that are going into a situation where it's like, obviously, if the Kings aren't even playing him, then obviously they've pretty much just thrown the white flag and like, yeah, we're pretty much done. So if they're not going to play him, then why haven't you traded him by now?
Yeah.
It's like his agent makes a great point. It's like, if you had deals for him at the deadline, why didn't you just trade for him then? Or why didn't you trade him then?
Evan, you were saying?
No, I just think they should trade him, or they should get some value. I mean, he's your second overall pick. Just get some value out of him.
I mean, he's still 22.
He's probably just going to do something on the lines of Ben Simmons and just kind of go on that route until he either gets traded or gets waived.
Marvin Bagley is not good enough to do the Ben Simmons thing. He's just not. Ben Simmons has no leverage. The team obviously does not need him, and they're not going to play him anyway. So it's like, I can see both sides. I don't think he is necessarily better than very many players on the Sacramento Kings that, are going to be on their opening night roster. But if they want his value to go up so they can trade him, they need to play him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Or it's like, if you want to get value out of him, sitting him is not going to do anything. It's like, it's with the Simmons thing. It's like, obviously the Sixers probably want Simmons to play so they can still try and get something for him. But Simmons is a way more developed player than Marvin Bagley. That's kind of an unfair comparison. But
but the whole Marvin Bagley situation, especially with his dad tweeting out at the Kings to trade his son. Yeah,
it's pretty strange. But it's a thing where it's like, if you're going to pick him number 2, invest in him, play him, develop him. And obviously, if it hasn't worked out yet, then yeah, I'd be upset too.
Yeah, I would too, but I can see it.
I think everything is pretty justified from Bagley's side. He's 22 years old. Why isn't he playing?
He's a 22-year-old that can't stay healthy and can't play defense. But I would still play him.
God, imagine if the Kings pick Luka, man.
Oh, don't
if the Kings pick Luka.
Shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear it.
I mean, Bagley had 14 and 7 last year.
Shut up.
He's not bad.
Yeah, he's young.
Don't tell me to shut up. You asked me to answer your question.
Shut up. Don't tell me that. I wanted the Mavs to take Mo Bamba on draft night.
There you go.
My family still makes fun of me because I was like, no, Mo Bamba was still on the board and we didn't take Mo Bamba when we did draft Luka. or technically we drafted Trae Young, and I didn't know that the trade happened yet. So I was really
the
mad that we took
classic
Trae Young.
where Luca's donning the Hawks hat and Trae Young is donning the Mavs hat at draft.
All I knew is that I really liked the University of Texas basketball team that year with Mo Bamba, and I didn't like OU, and I still don't like OU, and they had Trae Young, and I was really mad. But now we have Luca, and everything's right in the world.
Yeah.
So speaking of the 2018 draft class, there have been a multitude of players that have not had a extension. The most notable being DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton wanted max money, and the Suns owners didn't give it to him.
They
Instead,
lowballed him
they
like
gave him
crazy. They're like, "We'll give you 3. We'll give you 3 years. We'll give you 5 though."
They gave Landry Shamet and Mikal Bridges money.
Hey, shout out
and
Landry
deals.
Shamet, man. He finally got a home.
He hasn't even played yet. Let's chill out.
Well, he's been on like 5 teams in 5 years.
Right, but he hasn't played a game for the Suns, so let's not say it's his home yet.
Got a 4-year deal, man.
Yeah, but you traded in 3 months. So do we think DeAndre Ayton should have gotten a extension? Would you give DeAndre Ayton max money?
Yes.
No brainer.
He should have gotten an extension.
Would you give him max money though?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the first round pick. I mean, first
number
pick.
1 overall pick.
Yeah.
And he played pretty good in the playoffs. He got played off the floor in the
He
finals.
was huge in the playoffs.
Until they ran into the Bucks, he just played.
I mean, he really, really showed out in the playoffs. Where it's like, I know a lot of people were pretty low on him going into last year. Where it's like, last year was pretty much like the year where they're like, all right, you got to show us something.
Nut up or shut up.
And he really proved that he belongs in the league. And the fact that the Suns, I think they recognize that, but I just don't think that I don't know. Their mindset behind it is probably like they just don't think he's worth it for 5 years.
Right. And since they've already paid Devin Booker, from what I remember, I might be wrong, but they've already.
Oh yeah, Booker was paid a while ago.
Chris Paul is on the books, and he's making a lot of money. Mikal Bridges just got paid. Jay Crowder's on a pretty good deal. They still have to pay Cam Johnson, I think. I don't think they paid Cam Johnson yet.
Yeah, Booker is on year 3 of his 5-year extension he signed 2 years ago.
Okay. But other names that haven't gotten an extension: Colin Sexton, Miles Bridges, Mo Bamba, and Marvin Bagley. None of those have reached extensions. Is there
Sexton?
anyone...
I'm surprised he didn't get one.
Yeah,
me too. Is there anyone there that you would offer the contract they were wanting to?
I would have given Bridges his deal.
So Sexton and Bridges.
Yeah, Aiden, Sexton, and Bridges, I think, are more than deserving of their extensions. Mo Bamba, I get. Bagley, I can get, but
yeah. So they'll hit restricted free agency in 2 years, I think.
2 off seasons from now, I think.
So
I would
there
also
still time for them to get an extension like next year, or is that period over?
I'm not super well versed in how contracts work, but I believe so. I believe they have to restructure their contract, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay. I think Sexton and Bridges are the biggest ones there that you would want to give your contracts to, just because those are the 2 biggest players. I wouldn't give Mo Bamba, and I wouldn't have given Marvin Bagley an extension just because they haven't proven anything.
Yeah, so like next year, what's his face? Bridges will have a qualifying offer for next year, and then the year after that is when he'll be a restricted free agent, I believe.
Got it.
So the last thing is Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson is not making the Pelicans opening day roster, and the Pelicans just came out with that like a week or 2 ago, and after saying that he was well on track to make his recovery time, which was going to be the beginning of the season, and he has not made it.
Yeah, he's out indefinitely, isn't he?
Yes.
I mean, I think they're just playing it rather play safe than sorry. I mean, he is the future of their whole team, so just let him get as healthy as he can get before they go play him.
I don't think they're playing safe than sorry. I don't think he's in basketball shape. Actually, I know he's not. There was a report that he's over 300 pounds, and he's like 6'8", I think. I don't think he's entirely healthy. He's overweight, and I think that he has to get into basketball shape before he can take the court.
Yeah, it's probably a thing where it's like he got out of shape because of the surgery.
Right,
the surgery like might have set
him
him back a little bit. So now it's a matter of just him getting into game shape. Get that foot well.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just a thing. I'm kind of with you. It's kind of just like a thing where it's like it's a thing for him to just get game ready.
Yeah, because if he's over 300 pounds I think he's 6'7" or how tall is Zion? I think
he's 6'8",
like 6'6", 6'7", somewhere in that range. 300 pounds. I'm 6'5" and like 150 pounds, so that's like 2 times my weight. And which I'm underweight. He's overweight, so he needs to find that balance in there.
Average, yeah.
Yeah,
but everybody wants to make a huge deal about Zion's weight, and he's always just been like, just a bigger. Yeah, he's always just been a bigger guy. But like that works for his game. He's not a perimeter player. Like he's not moving up and down the court at all times. Like he just like strictly he's an inside guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And he averaged 27 points last year
on insane efficiency
on 61% from the field.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to turn this into like a Zion segment.
And made an all-star team. Like, I don't think it's really that. I think people are making it a way bigger deal than it really is in hindsight.
Yeah.
I just want Zion to play defense this year. He came out of Duke as like, he's going to play defense. He's going to be a rim protector. He's going to block shots. And he's been like one of the worst defenders in the league. I think he's just too slow. I think he just doesn't have the quickness to keep up with the NBA. But I think he gets on. I think he, gets better about that.
All right, boys. We ready for the NFL?
I suppose.
All right. So I'm gonna lead this one. Mix things up. Basically, Thursday night football. We have Broncos at Browns. But
yuck! God, tomorrow night's gonna stink.
We got news that Baker Mayfield's out, so Case Keenum's getting the start, and then Chubb's out. It's a whole mess.
Hunt's out.
It's the whole mess for the Browns. I got Broncos.
Ugly Browns.
And Teddy Bridgewater's questionable too, so the Broncos might not have Bridgewater tomorrow night either.
Really?
No, they got Drew Lock.
Really?
And I mean,
yeah,
he's not good.
Drew Lock versus Case Keenum in prime time. Give it to me.
So who you got in this game? I got Broncos for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it safe and go Broncos.
I got the Broncos as well. I think Drew Lock is, he was just playing 16, 17 games last year. So, I guess 16 because, NFL. But he was just playing a whole season last year, so he's the most game ready.
And this is kind of like a game just like shut down the haters and kind of say like, hey, I'm tired of being on the bench. Like, I want this starting role. Because I think he was pretty upset whenever he did lose the role.
But he was like the worst quarterback in the league.
Oh, yeah. But
he was
he's still on a roster. But going into Sunday, surprisingly, I don't know if I have really any hot takes this week. The games are kind of just like, I don't know, the matchup.
I will agree. Yeah, I will agree. There are a lot of just one-sided games here.
Yeah. So starting out, we got the Panthers at the Giants.
Giants are actually so bad. Like, I thought the Texans and the Jaguars were bad. Oh my God, the Giants are so bad.
The Giants are worse than the Texans and the Jaguars?
They're there, man. It's not pretty for them. Panthers fairly easily.
Just can't call a game.
Yeah, Panthers for
I'll take
sure.
the Panthers as well.
And then we got the Jets at the Pats. Patriots coming off of the game against the Cowboys. I went to overtime. Kind of shocking I went there, but it's a Jets team. I don't know how much we can expect from the Jets.
Yeah, after the first time the Jets played the Patriots, I would hope that Zach Wilson would improve a little bit, but I don't know if I can trust him. So I'll gladly take Bill Belichick against the Jets.
Yes.
Also take the Patriots.
Now, the next game is Chiefs at Titans, and Titans coming off that win against the Bills where their defense had that late stop. I did pick the Titans last week.
One second. Why are we running a QB sneak right there?
I don't
Josh
know.
Allen just
I'm not the
marched-
Bills. I'm not a Bills fan. I don't know.
I know
Yeah,
that was a
yeah.
rhetorical.
I was actually
question.
quite happy because I had the Tannehill, Henry, Julio stack.
Okay.
I did have
So-
Henry, and it got me the win.
So
over
anything that
Aiden,
involved Derrick
so,
Henry, I was all in.
Okay.
Yes.
My point is we should not have ran a QB sneak right there. Josh Allen just absolutely marched down the field. And we do this like little fun, like, haha, let's run under center and pretend like we're calling a play and then snap the ball. And he very clearly didn't get it. And I think that was just a really bad play call, especially since Stephon Diggs is out there and nobody on the Titans defense is going to guard Stephon Diggs. Just throw a slant or throw an in route. I was just really upset with that play call.
Anybody picking the Chiefs here?
I'm taking the Titans.
I am taking Titans as well.
I think
Alright.
Derrick Henry runs for like 200 yards.
Yeah, I don't see what
Yeah.
the Chiefs defense has to stop Derrick Henry.
If the Bills
Now.
defense can't stop him, the Chiefs defense certainly isn't stopping.
Yeah. Now we got the Washington football team at the Packers.
Wait, did you take Titans? Or did you take Chiefs?
I took Titans.
Okay.
This one, I gotta go with Packers. I want to pull for the Washington football team so much, but they're just not winning
Why?
games.
Why? You're a
Just-
Cowboy fan.
I am a Cowboys, but against like other NFC teams besides our divisional teams. Of course, if they're playing the Cowboys, I got the Cowboys. But like, I want to pull for them. Antonio Gibson, Logan Thomas, Taylor Heineke. I like that group. Like, it's just
Logan
like
Thomas
the
is hurt, fam.
underdogs. He is.
Oh,
You gotta
yeah,
keep
he's
up-
hurt.
that.
You got to keep up with your injury, people.
Well, he's
I'm
on my
not playing
fantasy
Madden,
team.
though.
He's on my fantasy team, so
Yeah.
he's been on IR.
But I'm just noticing, just like from last year watching the playoffs, I was like, man, I was really pulling for him just to win, a couple games. But
Yeah, whatever. I
think
got
this one's gonna be
Packers.
pretty easy. Yeah, with the Packers.
I got the Packers in an
Packers.
absolute
Yeah,
manslaughter.
love your little swan song here, but Packers.
Oh yeah, and then Falcons at Dolphins.
Oh,
This one,
yeah.
I wanted to pick the Dolphins, but
Because this
I had to do the
this
Falcons.
could arguably be ranked as one of the worst games of the year.
Yes.
I thought
definitely
Jets
could.
and Falcons was going to be worst game of the year. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but
It's
boys,
just two
Falcons, Dolphins up
terrible
there.
teams.
I'm gonna go. Oh wow, there's no good option here, but I'll go Falcons. I'll go
Yeah.
Falcons.
I'm also taking the Falcons.
yeah, I don't know how anybody can just pick the Dolphins with straight up with full confidence. But
Yeah.
this next game might be one of the best games of the slate with the Bengals at Ravens.
Nah, don't shake your
Bengals
head,
are-
Aiden. Bengals are here,
Yeah,
bro.
the Bengals. Yeah,
The
they've been
Bengals
playing
are
really,
here.
really good.
After what the
against
Ravens did to the Chargers last week,
See,
I'm
see,
definitely not
those
taking
the
Bengals.
Chargers. This is the Bengals.
Yeah, and
This
I mean,
is
didn't the
AFC
Ravens go
North
to
football.
overtime? The Ravens went to overtime with the
If you
Lions.
said that
and the
statement
Lions have
2
not been
years
good.
ago, everyone would laugh in your
The
face.
Bengals
Yeah.
are here.
The
dude.
Bengals are here. The
Joe
Chargers.
Burrow has arrived.
Even-
The Bengals
though the-
have arrived, but the Ravens are still winning.
Yeah, the Ravens are still winning.
I'm taking the Ravens in an absolute manslaughter.
Ravens also are still here. So
Yes.
All right, next game.
yeah,
Lions
what y'all got
at
next game,
Rams.
guys?
Rams for sure.
The old Jared Goff comes back to LA.
got it?
I'm just curious for just how bad it's going to be. I'm curious what the fan reception is going to be. I wonder if the fans are like going to cheer him since he took us to the Super
I think it's
Bowl,
gonna be a
or
mix.
if they're going to. Actually, I don't know why we would boo him. Like he really, I mean, he like wasn't good
Yeah.
the last year and a half. He was with the Rams, but
I know.
one, he
I
got
know
us
you
Matthew
absolutely hate
Stafford.
him.
Two, took us
True.
to the Super Bowl.
True.
And I mean, before what's his face, Matthew Stafford came along. Like Jared Goff was the best quarterback I've ever seen play for the Rams.
Well, I mean, when you put up 3 points in the Super Bowl, you can't really cheer.
Yeah, which is how it ended. It just makes me curious how fans are going to react. But obviously, Rams big here. No surprise here, guys.
Yeah. The next game is
Whoa,
actually
whoa,
another
whoa,
one.
whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
whoa, whoa!
What?
I saw the Rams lose to the Jets last year. I think that was the Jets' first win. I think it's gonna be this. I think it's another trap game. I think the Rams are so much better than the Lions that the Lions are gonna trap them like the Jets did last year.
So you got the Lions.
I got the Lions.
Whoa.
This isn't me being like dumb. I genuinely believe the Lions might win this week.
Yeah, good for you to throw in the I'm not trying to be dumb here before you say something very dumb.
All right, we'll screenshot the pick whenever it's like 52-0.
I know we say that we're actually going to clip stuff from this. If the Lions actually lose, if the Rams do win, then I will clip this.
Okay, do
That'll be
it.
very
Do
nice.
it. Put it all over Twitter. Put it all over TikTok. Let's see what happens.
The next game we got here is, I think it's one of the second best games of the week, which is kind of shocking. Eagles at Raiders.
The only reason I say like looking forward to some Eagles Raiders, like, yeah, I'm gonna sit down.
But they both the Raiders have been winning games, right?
Hey, honey, the Eagles and the Raiders are on. You don't watch it? No.
Hey, y'all clown on me now, but wait till you see, because in the Eagles,
honestly, he might have a case.
Yes, because the Eagles put up numbers against the Chiefs.
Honestly, because Sunday night's awful. Colts at 49ers, no Saints at Seahawks on Monday night, dude. Honestly, Evan might have a point. Evan might have a point.
The best game is still bad.
I got Raiders.
Honestly, just this week in general stinks.
Yes, there are no good games this last night, and neither were the best.
Yeah, this week kind of is
the Eagles
whack.
Yeah.
Chiefs and Titans
Eagles at Raiders.
Clearly the best game.
Yeah, Chiefs Titans clearly the best game of the week.
No,
game's not. Second best game is Bengals Ravens.
I don't think the Titans blow out. I think the Chiefs keep it close. I think the Chiefs score a lot of points because the Titans can't defend anything.
I mean, they did stop you on fourth down, but we don't got to go there. Yeah,
terrible play call.
All right.
But yeah, Evan, I like your take. Eagles Raiders, third best game of the week.
There you go. Thank you, Will. Who you got, Will?
We're ranking games of the week now.
I'll go Raiders.
Yeah. 80.
Yeah. Raiders.
All right. Cardinals, Texans, no brainer. Cardinals all the way around.
Oh,
right,
no Texans this time, eh?
Hell
Not feeling it this week.
Hell no. All right.
I think you've taken the Texans twice. So
just not feeling it this week. Oh god, I don't even want to know how bad the Bucks beat the Bears, man. That's gonna be ugly.
Bucks. Aiden, I'm sure you got the Bucks too.
I'm taking the Bucks.
Okay.
Tom Brady's gonna fucking murder them.
And then we have 49ers at Colts. Again, not a good game.
Like we couldn't have gotten a flex for this game, NBC. Really? Like we're really gonna put Carson Wentz on primetime national television?
Yeah.
Who you got? Colts, 49ers.
Hate to say it, but I'll go 49ers. Unfortunately,
I
am rooting for a Colts win. That's for sure. But I don't think the Colts will win.
Is Trey Lance starting for the 49ers still? Is it still Jimmy G?
I think it'll be Lance.
Okay. I'm not tuning into a whole bunch of 49er games.
Yes. And then next we have the Saints at the Seahawks with Russell Wilson still hurt. And it's going to be a Saints win.
Yeah, I'll go Saints, even though they're at a hostile territory.
I did pick the Seahawks last week, and they did go to overtime against the Steelers. I'm pretty sure a lot of you weren't all picked the Steelers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But the Seahawks did hold their own. They did hold their own.
Yeah, I mean, when you have like the two worst QBs in the league battling it off, something's bound to happen.
Hey, this week we got the two worst QBs, Case Keenum and potentially Drew Lock. So
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, what a terrible slate is.
Yes, so terrible NFL. But I think overall, I mean, I don't know if there's going to be any shocking wins that we're going to be like, oh, wow, I can't believe they won.
The only shocking win would be the Lions or the Texans winning this week.
Yes. Okay.
Or the Jets, for that matter. I don't think the Jets really have a chance against the Patriots.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like there's going to be a lot of blowouts. The Bears, the Texans, the Lions, the Jets, and the Giants are all playing significantly better teams.
Yes. So before we head out here, the podcast, the MLB playoffs are coming up. They are going in full effect, actually, not coming up. I'm checking right now. The Astros are up 6-0 against the Red Sox on top of the sixth. And tonight we have the Braves. Yes, we have the Braves at the Dodgers. The Braves blew the game last night. I checked in. I was like, oh, wow. Braves about to go up 3-0. Who you got tonight against Braves Dodgers in LA?
I'm super happy for the Braves. I'm super happy for Cody Bellinger, especially coming off a terrible season. Just because
I think the Dodgers just needed one win to get them going.
Started.
Yeah. And it's an Atlanta team in the playoffs. So, it was bound to happen at some point. So,
I mean, the Hawks had a
Los Doyers.
I don't know if we can make that whole joke.
Los Doyers tonight. And plus, I think the Braves are also starting somebody that they.
Yeah, so who are they starting?
Well, I just
Jesse Chavez as an opener because Huskar Yanoa, who was supposed to start for the Braves, was scratched.
Is Urias starting for the Dodgers?
Yeah, and it's Urias for LA.
Oh yeah.
So we got Urias on. Well, I don't even know if he's on full rest, but he's actually starting finally. He's not coming out of the bullpen.
He came in for relief on game 2, and
Yeah, he came in for relief in game 5, and then came in relief for game 2. So now he's finally, he's not coming out of the bullpen. I don't even know if he's on full rest or not, but hopefully a full routine to actually get him going as a starter, which I think will help him. So
yeah.
So we like the Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm Dodgers tonight.
I still want to pull for the Braves here.
I'm going Dodgers tonight strictly just because of Urias. The Braves pitching now is probably super jumbled, and they probably have no idea what to do.
I think Mookie Betts is the best player. Is it like a hot take to say he's the best? Well, I guess you got Kike Hernandez on the Red Sox, but he's the best player in the playoffs so far, or one of. Other than you can make an argument for Kike Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Mookie Betts has just been absolutely killing it. I think
hoping the Red Sox score a couple runs before the end of the game too.
Hey man, just give me a Dodgers Red Sox or not Dodgers Astros. Give me a Dodgers Astros World Series and just
Dodgers. See, everybody wants to write off the Astros, or it's no one wants to see the Astros. It's I like the Astros. I'm not a fan of them, but I like watching them. They're a cool team. They're just a fun villain team.
Don't like the Red Sox.
They're a fun villain team. You know what I mean?
Like the Hawks last year.
The Hawks weren't a villain team last year.
Well, if you're a New York Knicks fan, then they were.
Well, I'm just speaking in terms of just the entire league hates the Astros.
Yeah,
and the Astros just don't care.
Is there a team? Is there a team in the NBA or the NFL that's as hated as the Astros are?
The Warriors when they had KD.
Yeah,
easily.
You think so?
Easily.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In the
I do kind of like this.
Well, in the NFL, probably just the Patriots or the Cowboys, just because people are just tired of seeing them on their TV 10 times a year. But no, I legitimately think that the Warriors, when they signed Kevin Durant, I for one wasn't even really that interested in basketball anymore, just because I knew what the outcome of the season was going to be before the season even started.
I don't know.
So I was I don't need to waste 8 months of my time here. So I liked last year's season so much. That
was good basketball. Oh.
No, but yeah, I think that the Astros being a super villain team is fun. I think it's good for the league, honestly.
Well, would you rather have the superhero?
So I think a Dodgers Astros World Series would be
get ratings.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be
awesome.
awesome.
I think the Red Sox are kind of on a Cinderella team run, like what you'd see in March Madness, come out of the wild card, beating the Yankees, coming in. I mean, they're kind of a little Cinderella story compared. I mean, the Dodgers, yes, they came out of the wild card, but they had 105 wins. They had over 100 wins. So.
Yeah, you can't really call them a Cinderella team coming out of the wild card.
But the Red Sox.
Has there ever been a wild card World Series?
2014 was Giants and Royals.
And they were both wild cards?
Game. I don't know if there's been one recently, but 2014 just comes off the top of my head.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight with the Braves at the Dodgers.
So if it stands as we think it will, which is Dodgers Astros, who do you got?
I'm not going to pick because I still got faith in the Red Sox and the Braves.
Okay.
So
if it stands as we think right now.
No, I'm not giving up on the team. So
okay. So if it's a Red Sox Braves World Series, who are you taking?
Red Sox.
Okay. If it's a Dodgers Astros World Series, who are you taking?
Ask Will. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on my boys.
It's not you giving up. It's
honestly, it might be a hot take, but I'd go Astros.
I think the Astros are playing better ball.
I'd go Astros over Dodgers.
Astros. Yeah, I had to, but I'm not giving up on the Red Sox.
It's not. No.
I don't even know if that's a hot take or not, but just part of me just feels like if those two matched up, I feel like the Astros would just do literally anything possible to win. I just think they do it. I think they would just find a way to just do it.
Yeah. I'd still take the Dodgers, even though the Dodgers are having a real problem, putting people on base. And when they do put them on base, driving them in, they just can't drive anybody in. They're leaving a significant amount of people on base. But I'd still probably take the Dodgers. I don't know. Scherzer and Buehler are better than the Astros
I want to think
starters.
that the Dodgers aren't super vulnerable, but they are. Walker, the Dodgers' worst start came from Walker Buehler.
Yeah, and their bullpen hasn't been super great. But it's the opposite of the Astros. It hasn't been as
great, but I mean, also the Astros, especially in this series, they might be going up 3-2, going back to Houston, but games 2 and 3, maybe even game 1, where it's just their bullpen has just needed to hop in for 20 plus outs.
Yeah.
4 games in a row.
Houston Astros starters have been absolutely horrid. But their bullpen's been pretty good.
It just seems like starting pitching in general in the playoffs this season hasn't been too great. Logan Webb had 2 good starts for the Giants.
Lance McCullers shredded.
McCullers was good against the White Sox. Scherzer hasn't really been able to get deep into his starts. Buehler had a blow-up start against the Braves. Greinke blew up against the Red Sox.
Didn't Charlie Morton had a pretty good outing?
Yeah, Martin. I mean, that Braves and Brewers series was where the pitching was at.
Yeah.
I mean, Burns and Woodruff and Peralta, Morton, Fried. They had some guys going in that series. But
yeah, no one was scoring runs in that series.
But the Brewers forgot how to score a run. So
yeah,
that's where they go.
What a sad series. I was really pulling for the. I
got a buddy who works for the Brewers, and I was really pulling for him, honestly.
I just want to see Christian Yelich be great.
They're a cool team. I like the Brewers. As a Cardinals fan, the Brewers this year didn't really piss me off. It was just more of oh wow, y'all are just really fucking good.
There's nothing we can do about it.
That's a lie. The Cardinals legit did everything but lose to the Brewers in September.
Okay.
That's a lie. They lost 1 game to the Brewers in September, but
there was nothing they could do about them getting the 1 seed just because they were so.
That also is true. Yeah, their lead was so big that a 17-game winning streak did just absolutely nothing.
Was there any time during that win streak you're hey, we might make the 1 seed?
No, not at all.
Okay, I didn't think so.
No, the 17-game win streak was to just solidify the second wild card spot.
Yeah. The Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are still the best team in baseball, just pure talent wise. I like Scherzer.
Oh, and while we're also on the old topic, your old pal Aaron Boone is back.
Yeah, we completely cleaned house.
3 more years. 3 more years. 3 more years.
Yes.
Give me.
And Schilt's gone too, man. Let's go. Y'all got to keep your manager, my manager. He out of here, man. Let's go. We're moving now.
Give me a second. Yeah. So the Yankees absolutely cleaned house. We fired or cut. I don't know. We got rid of the third base coach to send Aaron Judge in the wild card game.
Phil Nevin, man.
I think we cut our hitting coach, or I think we cut. He didn't say Nevin. Was it the third base guy?
Yeah, Nevin, third base coach, and Marcus Timms. All their contracts got terminated.
Yeah. So we basically just cleaned house, and I was expecting Aaron Boone to go, but Aaron Judge stuck up for Aaron Boone, basically saying that this is his team, that he likes Aaron Boone, and Aaron Judge is on a contract year, so you want to keep him happy. And there's been reports. I don't think Carlos Correa is coming, but a whole bunch of Yankee fans, which
Carlos Correa is not going to be a New York Yankee.
I'm aware.
I do not know why Yankee fans think that is even a possibility in the slightest.
I don't either, but there was reports that the GM said that the shortstop was the biggest need in the offseason and that he will be addressing it. So that basically means Gleyber Torres.
Andrelton Simmons, come on down.
No.
Bridge shortstop is here.
Honestly, thinking Trevor Story realistically will be a Yankee.
Oh, that's so funny. That's
I thought we were going to get up at the trade deadline.
Yeah, listen to this.
They're going to
Evan.
make Rizzo.
Yankee fans trying to
priority.
get themselves hope again.
It's not hope. It's.
I just love how
I've
Yankee
heard.
fans think it's so automatic that you're just like guaranteed a top free agent.
Don't
all the
think
time. All the time.
Okay.
That's not how this works anymore.
Hey, and when they do get them, do they perform with them?
Oh my God.
Garrett Cole got $324 million in the bank.
Yes,
Where are
and
y'all
he's
at, man?
Second in Cy Young voting, probably behind Robbie Ray. Probably.
There you go.
And 1 game in the playoffs.
2 innings in the wild card.
That's what you get for
Anyway,
2 of them.
making Anthony Rizzo a priority. I think Corey Kluber is going to be back better next year.
So what I'm seeing is that if Luke Voigt doesn't get, is he getting playing time? Not really, right?
Probably not. I think they're going to go the Anthony
So
Rizzo
Luke
route.
Voigt-
I don't know why they're going the Anthony Rizzo route, but I think
Yeah.
they are.
So
Y'all gonna
Luke
pay
Voigt
Rizzo
about
that
to
much
pull
money?
Ben Simmons.
I hope not, but I don't think
Yeah, I hope not.
it seems like we're going towards Rizzo more than Voigt, which we need another lefty bat. But
Mhm.
and I don't think
I just think it's sweet
Stanton in the
that
outfield.
how bad Yankee fans treat not just Carlos Correa, but just like Astros in general, that they would even consider
And they want-
consider going to the Yankees.
I think
Like, give me one good reason why Carlos Correa would consider going to the Yankees.
money.
I think Correa is a good enough person where money will not be the only determining factor.
I don't like Carlos Correa, and I think he's an absolute weirdo.
He's not, though.
I
He's just a damn good baseball player.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm
he
about to
is.
say he's a good baseball player.
He's a damn
Very
good
good.
baseball player.
No, I know. I know that he's very good. He's a very good baseball player, but I also think he's kind of weird. But I don't think he's coming to the Yankees. I don't.
Weird how?
Okay. So if he's not going to the Yankees, then we can drop the Yankee talk right now because
Let me finish. Shut the fuck up. I
you
don't
made your
think
point.
I don't think Carlos Correa is coming to the Yankees. That's what Will was trying to say.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
Trevor Story is a lot more likely than Carlos Correa. I think Luke Voigt is the DH. I think we move Stanton to the outfield. I think hopefully Aaron Hicks is back. We can put him in center, put Judge in right. And then I don't know what we do with Gallo unless we put him in center instead of
Well, Gallo's a free agent, so.
right. Are we bringing him back though? I've heard a lot of people want him. to
Is
bring him
Gallo a
back.
free agent? Or he has 1 more year left.
I think
Baseball contracts are so weird.
I think he's either a free agent or he's 1 more year. But I know that he strikes out a lot, but I think a lot of Yankees fans like him just because he's Italian and does the wee wee.
Let's see. Joey
He's just
Gallo.
super
Joey
cute.
Gallo has one year with the Yankees. So
Right.
so yeah, 2023 is a free agent.
So Judge
2022
in
next
center.
year is his last year.
Judge and center, Stanton and right. Gallo and left, and then Void of the DH is like the ideal hitting situation, but that's just not what's going to happen.
All right. Well, I think that's enough Yankee talk for today. We'll talk
Y'all
more
ask.
about them whenever they start to make the playoff.
Yeah, don't
Hey,
get
but-
mad at Aiden. I'm literally the one who brought it up.
Yes, and my baseball team is winning more than 65 games.
I literally brought up
Hey.
the fact that Aaron Boone was
Hey.
back for 3.
So let's not talk about
Yes, you did.
anything
You did.
until your team makes the playoffs. How do you feel about that? Since
All right, cool. I mean, at least-
we were in the wild card. Y'all were last in your division.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got to
but
watch our team
we knew we
lose
were
in the
bad.
playoffs. Where are
We knew
you
we
at?
were bad.
Yeah.
I knew we weren't making the playoffs. I didn't.
Adolis
talk
Garcia
all
ain't
that
winning
crap.
rookie of the year, my boy.
Yeah, Drew might, but
It's Randy Rose
topic
right
for
now.
another time. Topic for another time. Overall, thanks everybody for watching. It's been great talking with you boys about some NBA, some NFL.
NBA's
some
back,
MLB.
baby.
Oh,
Yes,
I'm
it is.
so ready.
You'll get
We'll
Mavs
have a lot
talk
to talk
next
about.
week.
Yeah,
we're
we'll have a lot
gonna
to talk about
go a
next
lot
week.
deeper next week into the NBA. But
Yeah,
we can't
expect
do
this
it
to be a
until the
full-on
games.
Mavs podcast by the next 2 months.
Nope. We're not doing that.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, make sure you share, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. and continue
Download our
watching.
podcast, please.
Yes. We'll
Let's
see you
hear-
next Wednesday.
All right. Bye, guys.
See y'all
Thank
next
you.
week.
Boys.
Adios.
See you, boys.